Good morning. Welcome to the Haywood County Board of Commissioners meeting for October 6, 2014. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shall we pray? Our Father in heaven, we just want to thank you for this day and for the health that we all have to be here today. Father, we pray for those that are in other countries with the Ebola virus. We just pray for this situation, and we pray, Lord, that you give the health officials the wisdom to stop it. Lord, watch over our troops while they're there. Watch over them in the world as they're stationed around the world, Lord, as they look into this virus. Lord, we just pray that you would protect them and their families. Father, I pray that you'd help us make the best decisions we can for Haywood County today as we have our meeting. And Lord, we want to also thank you for all the help that we had for our faith-based programs from those in our community last week. Lord, we just thank you for the volunteer hours and for that. For that is a kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move to the public comment session. Is anyone present who would like to address the board? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move to public or the constituent concerns. Bill, do you have anything?
I have none.
No, sir. Kevin?
I just wanted to comment on our day that we had in the Ty Pennington Day. I just wanted to thank all the volunteers that were there. Especially want to thank our Sheriff Christopher and Nick Honderkamp, Perry Hines, and Jim Haynes, who are heading up those ministries for that. And I want to also announce that they're going to have a work day on Saturday the 11th and the 25th of this month for if anyone out there wants to volunteer. And I think this is one of the best programs that our commissioners have voted for and are being a part of. And I just want to note that to show you how everyone's working together, that they were tearing up the floors, and we had Senator Jim Davis and his wife Judy, Mike Clampett, and Dean Hicks all had shovels tearing up the floor, working together for a common purpose. So we had a good, when I say that everybody's working together, that even goes in the political realm. So I want to thank those folks that were there doing that. So. And also, I want to challenge our churches to really be part of these programs. They're faith-based programs. They're home missions. If your church likes missions, and we should all like missions if we're churchgoers, I want to challenge the churches to be supportive of this with their funds and with their people volunteering and with their prayers. So I think this is going to be a good program for our county. It's one of the best programs that I've ever seen our county do, and I've been a part of. And I just wanted to say that this morning.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that particular day with the pathways also was a lot of fun that morning, getting ready for it. And we had breakfast at the open door. They treated us very, very nice down there. Like the song, I kept singing the song they were singing down there. But anyway, it was a great event for Haywood County. And I also attended Crabtree, the Crabtree Iron Duff Community barbecue and all Saturday evening. Well attended, and that is their annual fundraiser, and all that money goes to scholarships for the kids in that community to go on to college. So I really want to thank all the people who come and participated in that thing and supported that. So that was a fun event for this Saturday. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we don't have any administrative or agency reports today. Is there any adjustment to the agenda? Okay. If not, we'll move to the consent agenda. We've had the opportunity to review the September 15th, 2014 regular meeting minutes. Are there any changes to those? Okay, if not, we'll turn to Julie Davis for budget amendments.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have two budget amendments for you. The first one is for Health and Human Services. It's $6,971. This is actually money that was left over from last year's program that we are bringing forward into this year to use for their Healthy Haywood program.
Any questions there?
And the next budget amendment is $220,000. This is lottery funding for the school capital project. It's Jonathan Valley Elementary School roof replacement. You might remember the application came before you a couple of months ago, and there was about $13,000, I think, for the architect fees, and then $220,000. DPI just approved this about a week or so ago, and so now we're putting it in the budget so we can do the project and we can pay for it from the county.
Any questions there? We discussed this, I think, a couple of months ago, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll move to the third item of the consent agenda. With the Sheriff's Office, with the contract for Southern Software, its annual contract.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning.
Commissioners.
Sheriff.
I guess our financial issues with Southern Software have gone up simply because the Emergency Operations Center has now fallen under the Sheriff's Office, and it's part of our responsibility. Because of that, our contract with Southern Software is now over $50,000. And so because it is over $50,000, I need to come and present this to the commissioners.
Right. Here it exceeds the county manager's authority level by a few $1,000s, but there's no other real dramatic changes to the contract.
No, sir. Actually, everything has been budgeted for, and it is ready to be paid.
Okay. Any questions of the sheriff? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other questions or comments regarding the consent agenda? If not, would entertain a motion that the consent agenda as presented be approved.
So move.
Second? Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you. We'll move to new business. First item is a consideration of the resolution in support of restoring state aid to the Aid to Public Libraries Fund. We have Sharon Woodrow with us. Good morning.
Good morning. On behalf of the president of the North Carolina Public Library Association and the North Carolina Public Library Directors, we are requesting that the Board of County Commissioners make a resolution to restore funding to the State Aid to Public Library Fund to the pre-2011 level of $15.7 million and eliminate special provisions that distribute state aid outside of the equitable formula developed by the State Library Commission. And I have prepared a resolution, if I can read it to you. Whereas Haywood County is an active member in good standing of the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, and whereas public libraries are integral to our communities as centers of lifelong learning accessible to all citizens, and whereas public libraries are critical contributors to local workforce development by providing access to computers, job search assistance, small business support, and help with educational goals, and whereas public libraries offer free early library programs and materials to ensure that all children can attain the skills needed for success in the formal classroom, and whereas support for public libraries is a matter of state policy as described in the North Carolina General Statutes 125-7, and whereas state aid is a critical component of each library's operating budget, it is distributed to the 80 library systems by a population and per capita income-based formula developed by the State Library Commission. And whereas state aid supplements but does not replace local funding for libraries. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Haywood County Board of Commissioners requests the North Carolina General Assembly to restore state aid funding of public libraries to the pre-2011 2011 level of $15.7 million and eliminate special provisions that distribute state aid outside of the equitable formula developed by the State Library Commission. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to the local legislative delegation, to the North Carolina General Assembly, and to the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners. Adopted the 6th day of October 2014 by the Haywood County Board of County Commissioners.
Okay. Thank you. Kirk represents the commissioners on the library board. Kirk, you have any comment?
Well, we talked about this at the last meeting, among other things, and which I'd like for you to tell them about that historic website thing too, when you get a chance here in a second. But
Okay.
I've really been kind of surprised at the use that the library gets, the number of people that utilize that facility. We sometimes worry about our other departments, and as far as recreation in the library goes, we don't necessarily pay as much attention to them, and we haven't the last several years, mainly because of economic reasons. But as far as quality of life goes for the citizens of Haywood County, I mean, it's a great support for them, and it is utilized. I kind of assumed that because of the internet and the ability to look up things on the computer, that the libraries may not get used as much, but I was wrong. I mean, at one of the last meetings, we were just talking about our parking and the fact that our parking lot's not big enough to park all the vehicles there for some of the events that they have at the library. I mean, and they have to park across the street in the Methodist parking lot. So I can tell you that it is getting used, and they're bending my ear quite a bit, actually. I think they've long waited for somebody to be there on their board to hear them. But anyway, hopefully this can be restored, and I'm sure it will be helpful.
Something else you mentioned you wanted to...
If you tell them about that North Carolina
The historical database, we just opened it up online for all of our patrons or anyone in Haywood County to go in and look. If you go onto our website, and over in the left-hand corner, there's a little picture that has the historical data there. You can click on it, and it'll take you into a database that we have been working on for probably, well, actually, maybe 5 years if you take into account the information that has been coming into the library. But in the last 2 years, we have worked extremely hard to put all of that into digital format and open it up for the county to go in, and you can search your relatives, you can search the cemeteries, you can search veterans, historical buildings in in Haywood County. There's many resources there that we're trying to get more and more, and we have just put the tip of the iceberg in. This is a work in progress that will take probably years to build up to where we get all the information that the library actually has. And we request that the community, if you have information that you feel like that the rest of the community would be interested in sharing, we would love to get that information in the library so that we can scan it. And we don't have to keep the photographs or the documents. We can scan it, and that would be it, just as long as we have the right to show it.
You're keeping, to the extent possible, a list of existing cemeteries, the old cemeteries that are out in the...
We are working on and probably have most of every cemetery in Haywood County. We have most of it in there. It may all be in there. I would say we have it all to what we have in our possession. I'm sure that there's family plots and different things out there that we don't know about and don't have.
So if someone is aware of an older family cemetery, they should, if they want to have that included in the database, they should contact you?
We would love to have it included. If they're willing to share that information, we would enter it into that database. And it helps not only people of Haywood County, but there's a lot of people have to move away from Haywood County, and they can go to our website and possibly start searching for their family, ancestors that are buried here.
Okay. Well, I would encourage anyone who sees this on television or is reported in the media, if they're aware of it, because I know of a lot of these older cemeteries that are in danger of trees are growing up through them, are in danger of being lost.
And if we can catalog those, I think it would be a good thing.
We would love to have that information. Any that
Chairman,
can be
Fines
brought in.
Creek, I was down at your mom's funeral. Fines Creek's done a great job of going back and preserving what they had so they wouldn't lose, you know, the markers that were out on the perimeter of the cemetery. So I think a lot of our churches have done a great job preserving.
Yeah, the one in Crabtree as well. I was there at,
Right.
with you and the other commissioners at a 200th anniversary, and there's been a lot of preservation efforts there as well. So I think that's just a very good thing for the communities to do. It's part of our heritage. So, okay, anything else?
Thank you so much.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, would any questions or comments on the state aid to the Aid to Public Libraries Fund? If not, would entertain a motion that the resolution as read be approved.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Very good. Thank you. Okay, next is a consideration of a memorandum of understanding between Haywood County Health and Human Services Agency and the Good Samaritan Clinic. Welcome, Carmen.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Thank you. The request is to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Haywood County Health and Human Services Agency, Public Health Services Division, and Good Samaritan Clinic, Mountaintop Healthcare of Haywood County for this fiscal year. This memorandum of understanding has the support of the Board of Health and Human Services, the Good Samaritan Board, the Mountaintop Healthcare Board, and has been reviewed by both medical directors and is supported by them. Donda Bennett, the Executive Director of Good Samaritan Clinic, is here in the audience as well. The purpose of this memorandum of understanding is to collaborate to increase the access of compassionate, quality health care services to adult patients of Good Samaritan Clinic, Mountaintop Healthcare, and the Haywood County Health and Human Services Agency Public Health Service Division in Haywood County, especially for at-risk and indigent adult populations. The Public Health Services Division will provide up to half-time mid-level provider, either a physician assistant or nurse practitioner, to the Good Samaritan Clinic at no cost to them to help see indigent clients. That is the request for you.
All right, any questions of Carmen or any comments? Sounds like a very good collaborative effort, so.
Really, yes, really helped the whole situation there when we were able to finally get this put together. So.
Okay. All right, well, if there are no further questions or comments, then would entertain a motion that the memorandum of understanding between Haywood County Health and Human Services Agency and the Good Samaritan Clinic be approved.
So move.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you for your support. This has been very helpful, and I think what you've done for the citizens of Haywood County will be very important for now and in the future. So appreciate your help for taking care of uninsured indigent health care. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen.
Okay. Okay, the third item of new business is a request for approval of a resolution from the solid waste for declaration of surplus property for the donation of a 1992 Ford Super Duty F-450 truck and green recycle trailer to the Haywood County Fairgrounds. Stephen King. Stephen?
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. North Carolina General Statutes 168-280 authorizes any government unit to donate personal property to another government unit or nonprofit. As we move to the single-stream recycling system, we no longer have a need for the 1992 Ford F-450 Super Duty truck, and we don't have a need for the green recycling trailer. And we talked to the fairgrounds, and they actually have a need for this equipment, so we're requesting to transfer this equipment over to the fairgrounds.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions?
I looked at the photographs of the truck. I hope it's in better mechanical shape than it is aesthetically.
We hope
Stephen,
so too.
looks like it's been washed too much, washed the paint off.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say I appreciate Stephen making this available. We've, at the fairgrounds, our water truck that we use was given to us by the sheriff, and it was I guess it's a Hummer or something, or a Humvee. I don't know. It don't hardly run anymore, so we have to like pull the truck with the tank on it around to water the arena. So, and we've got some folks that are going to for no cost, pretty much, switch the water tank over onto this truck. So we also need the trailer for storage of our tables and chairs, as well as transportation between the arena and Building A and Building B. So
Your board's looked at it and
yes,
you're in agreement with it?
very much in agreement with it.
Okay. Any questions or comments? If not, then would entertain a motion that the resolution for the disposition of property donations and declaration of surplus property for the donation of the 1992 Ford Super Duty truck and the green recycling trailer be approved.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous.
All right,
Thanks, Steve.
thank you.
Okay, next up is a request to approval to receive a $15,000 grant from the Cherokee Preservation Foundation. I think we have a representative from the Extension Service with us.
Good morning.
Ms. Bartholomew, is that
Yes.
correct?
My name is Coley Bartholomew, and I'm with the Haywood Extension 4-H, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about our grant program. We've already successfully completed our first grant cycle, which spanned from October 2011 until February 2013. The initial allocation was for $20,000. The second year is for $15,000, and the third year is for a $10,000 award for successful applicants. And Haywood County 4-H was granted a no-cost extension to successfully use our grant monies to purchase curriculum, cover travel costs, provide leadership trainings, and youth were able to go to these trainings at the local, district, and state levels. And the events included such activities as the West District Teen Retreat, State 4-H Congress, State Council Conference, Youth Legislative Assembly, the Regional Youth Summit, Global Leadership Summit, and our local Readers Are Leaders program. And similar to the historic Cherokee style of government, projects are completed by the council, our youth initiatives, and they're able to choose the leadership trainings, projects, and fun team building activities they'd like to complete throughout the year. And so the request for this year, for 2015, is $15,000. And the Youth Council is open to all enrolled 4-H members, ages 12 to 18. And last year, our federal reports indicate that we had over 2,000 youth served by the Haywood County 4-H Youth Program. And Haywood County 4-H would like to request that you accept the grant on our behalf.
Very worthwhile. Any questions or comments? Okay. If not, then we'd entertain a motion that we approve acceptance of the $15,000 grant from the Cherokee Preservation Foundation as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we have next up would be a budget amendment to document those funds. Julie?
What you have in front of you is a budget amendment for $15,000 that increases the extension budget, and we're just showing grant revenue coming in on the revenue side.
Okay. So we'd entertain a motion to approve the budget amendment for the $15,000 foundation grant project.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Okay, next, we have Tracy Hargrove, Maintenance Director with the Haywood County Schools, regarding a contingency project for Pisgah High School.
Good morning.
Welcome.
If I may, I'd like to go back to where y'all started the meeting, thanking the faith-based organizations for the work that they've done. I want to also do that here in a public setting. About 5 years ago, Nick Honorkamp was very instrumental in us starting the day of service between the churches and the school system. And if anyone doesn't know what that is, a lot of volunteers from churches come and on a particular day of the year, generally right before school starts, and do a lot of projects to our schools that we normally can't get done in the summer because our custodians are pretty much busy all summer trying to get the floors ready for the next school year. So the outsides of the buildings, landscaping and things like that get a little bit neglected during the summer. And these groups have come in and done a fantastic job for about 5 years now. And actually now it's to the point to where there's a relationship between the school, each particular school, and the churches that normally come and work for them, to where they just schedule their own day. So we don't do it on one day, and some of them actually come 3 or 4 times a year. So I would just like to thank all those churches and organizations for helping out, because it is tremendous help to us, and we do appreciate it very much. So I'd just like to say that before I start this.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
I have a couple of things. The first one is a request to spend $56,758 out of contingency on the Pisgah project. You have an attachment that shows what the projects are. There's one small deduct, and there are 4 adds. Basically, what this is projects that, as the construction was going on, and we looked at what we thought we were going to get and what we really thought we needed in the future, we changed a few things to add a little bit of asphalt and a little bit of concrete, primarily because one thing I've learned since I've been in the school system is that people are going to take the path of straightest line from building to building. So we added some sidewalks and did some things like that to keep from having to go back and do it later. We also had to move a fire hydrant for accessibility by the Kenton Fire Department if it was ever needed, and things like that. This would bring our total contingency spending to a total of $126,758, and in the original amount allocated for the project was $214,530, and at this time we expect no more requests.
Julie, you've taken a look at this, and you're comfortable with the
Yes,
the
I am
numbers?
comfortable with it. In fact, after this is approved, we have a budget amendment that does just that.
But I understand that most of this stuff that you're trying to do now is just like what you were talking about, is stuff that in the future you're going to have to do anyway.
Yes.
And you were able to really do a lot of stuff that's tying in that will keep you from having to do,
Yes.
spend money in the future.
And this project, as a matter of fact, we're going to do the final walkthrough this evening at 4 o'clock. So that's how close we are to being complete right now. And I would like to invite all of y'all, if you've ever been to Pisgah, and I know you have, knowing what it looked like.
22 years.
Knowing what it looked like back behind the cafeteria and back behind E Building 4 or 5 years ago to where it is today, we are very proud of this project. We've addressed so many issues and fixed a lot of things that needed to be fixed. We're actually going to utilize some of Stephen's old trailers back there starting next week, I hope, try to keep some things cleaned up where they haven't been in the past. Okay. But they've done a very good job on that project. H&M, our contractor, did.
Students and teachers in the classrooms now, right?
The students, we got the certificate of occupancy 2 weeks ago on Friday. We started the buses going around there last week, and tomorrow morning we're going to try a little bit of a traffic pattern change with the parents who drop off students, and keep your fingers crossed for that one. It may be a little bit.
Yeah, good luck.
It'll take a few days.
It'll take a little while, but we've got actually we've got a plan for what we call the A lot drop off, and then we've got a plan for the D lot drop off that we're probably going to try next week. So, but we're very happy with the way the project's turned out.
Tracy, I'd also heard that y'all had very few change orders on this job. It sounds like it went really smooth, and I just want to, I appreciate everybody's work on that, because when you're doing a construction project, you always have a lot of change orders. And I think I was talking to the architect, and he said there was very few change orders. Everything seemed to go really smooth. So it sounds like y'all really kept that project on the line.
We did, and we kept this project very simple. I mean, it's pretty much, there's not a lot of bells and whistles. It's a school building for a purpose, and we've constructed this to where hopefully going forward, the maintenance costs are very minimal, and when we do have maintenance issues, we've constructed it to where we can easily repair them. So that's the way we designed it.
That's good. I like to hear that, because that's using your money wisely.
Tracy, what's amazing, in a few years, the high schools will be 50 years old.
Yeah.
And been well taken care of for that age building.
Yeah, that's really amazing when you look at the buildings and walk inside them. You wouldn't realize that they were 50 years old. And I think that speaks to the preventive maintenance and the work that's been done. And I really think that when you consider the enrollment in Haywood County now, which is pretty much stabilized in terms of student population, I think we're in pretty good shape with both our high schools. There'll always be needs as we move forward with preventive maintenance and so forth to keep them that way, but I'm pleased with that.
I had a buddy who's lived in Tennessee for several years, and when he brought his daughter to enroll in Pisgah 2 years ago, his wife, who wasn't from here, thought the school was about 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that gives you an idea. And that's credit to our custodial staff. They do a
And the
fine
initial
job.
funding for this project was lottery dollars, is that right?
I'm sorry?
The initial funding for this project was lottery dollars?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's important for people to know the origin of the funds we spend, so. Okay, any questions of Tracy? If not, I would entertain a motion then that the project contingency expenditures as presented for the Pisgah High School renovation project be approved.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And we'll move then to Julie for the budget amendment for this project.
I have a budget amendment to move this money from contingency, and you may notice that after this money is moved, the $56,758, there's $74,468 remaining in contingency. This was a combination project. It's all lottery proceeds. Like you said, the initial down payment, so to speak, was lottery funds, and then we borrowed $1.7 million that's being paid back from lottery. So if there's any money left over in this, like the little bit of contingency suggests that that will go to pay toward the debt service. So it's
Okay.
all lottery.
Okay. Any questions of Julie? If not, we entertain a motion that the budget amendment as presented be approved.
So move.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, the eighth item of new business, we continue with Tracy for a Waynesville Middle School roof replacement project. Tracy?
I know it seems like I'm up here a whole lot on roof projects, but we are actually getting to the point. This is probably the last one that is in really bad shape. The old proverbial, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I believe that, we're getting there on roofing. We've put a lot of effort into it for the last 8 years trying to get leaks out of our buildings. And I can say that now every time it rains, I'm not dreading to answer my phone because we don't get those calls like we used to. It's taken a lot of effort. This is the last one. It is leaking right now. We have put it off for a little while. Years ago, we were hoping to replace that building, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon because of, where we're at in the economy. But we are just proposing to go back with a shingle roof on that building. It's an 85-year-old building. The total cost of this project is projected at $175,000. This is out of ADM funding. This is money that we've had for several years that basically what's happened on this is where other projects have came in a little bit under budget, and we didn't start any projects with it until we knew we had enough in there to actually cover the whole project. So that's why we're requesting out of ADM, and this project will probably take care of most of what's left in that fund.
Okay. And there'd be a 25% county match.
It's 25% county match that we
It's a
use the sales
statutory,
tax.
And that was
money to
budgeted in
cover
this
that. We have
previous
already
year.
budgeted this, yes, we have.
Okay. It might be interesting for folks who don't really think about how much roof we have in Haywood County with our schools. Do you have that number? How many square feet?
We have 1.63 million square feet. It's a lot of roof.
When you put that into context, it's a lot of shingles.
It's a lot of shingles, a lot of TPO, a lot of EPDM. It's a lot of roof all in. But we're getting there. I mean, we really are. When I look at I told our building and grounds that when we look forward to the next few years, I actually see the spending on roofing coming down, and that'll be the first time since I've been here.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's very good. Okay, any questions of Tracy?
I don't have any questions, but I do recall 8 years ago when we talked about that and what we needed to do and what you needed to do. And I kept saying, come back with that list, and you kept coming back with the list of the priorities. And we talked about getting the roofs done, and it's kind of good to see that that you're saying that now, because
We're there. I mean,
Yeah,
there's still going to
that's
be
great.
issues, but we're in good shape. This will put us in good shape.
well, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 years ago, it seemed overwhelming, almost unsolvable.
I know it.
Because it was so big and so many dollars and so many
4
challenges.
years ago, 5 years ago, I guess, the plan was to replace that building. And we almost had it, we were on the drawing board and coming out with it, and then the recession hit. And that kind of knocked the wind out of that thing right there, so, but anyway.
Yeah, we still have a plan that's in a file somewhere if
Keep
we
pushing
ever
it off, yeah.
get to do that.
Well, you got to keep the buildings in the dry, we know that.
We do that.
So, okay, if there's no further questions then of Tracy, would entertain a motion that the application to the Public School Building Capital Fund as set forth be approved.
So move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is David Francis to discuss a contract with McGill and Associates engineering firm for work on the Francis Farm landfill. David?
Good morning, Commissioners. Hope everybody's doing pretty well on this second of frosty October mornings. I'd like to offer congratulations to the Balsam Range boys for their awards last week. And that was a big-time thrill to be listening to that and to know these guys and where they've come from, and work with Mark Pruitt. It's a pretty high honor for these guys, and they represent Haywood County very, very well. Before you, Commissioners, is a contract for McGill and Associates. As you know, we acquired the property next to the Francis Farm landfill, and we are getting ready to move 100 cubic plus yards of dirt onto this property. And it's been a whirlwind of work from our side, the engineer side, from the contractors, and from the North Carolina Department of Transportation, and the collaboration that we've all put together to get this thing done and moved on. We will be actually dumping the first load of dirt tomorrow there on the site.
I believe that's 100,000.
100,000 cubic yards, yeah,
Okay.
100,000 cubic yards, yeah. And the property slopes down, and by the time they get all the dirt up there, it'll be almost even to where the bus garage is now. It's just amazing to think about all this. So, but this contract before you is the work that McGill has been doing and will do to finalize the stockpiling of the dirt. Like I said, we've worked with the North Carolina Department of Transportation, with the contractors, and the contract in full is $44,500. If you have any questions about that, I'd be glad to answer.
I know we've had several conversations about this in previous meetings. Ira, do you have anything to add?
The reason this is before you is we have another contract, and the combination with McGill for this fiscal year puts it over 50.
Okay, all right. So any commissioners have any questions or comments about? I mean, the continuing costs out there are.
It's going to continue and continue, unfortunately. Yeah. But you know, part of this too, we saved $30,000 on this contract with the contractors, with the reclamation plan that was done for the environmental concerns. We're able to save $30,000 there. Working with NHM did us a big favor there with that. So.
And utilizing the dirt from the DOT project out at the Lowe's.
Will save us over $1 million.
$1 million there. So there's still going to be considerable costs that we have to bear, but we don't really have any choice in the matter.
No, we do not.
So,
David, the hauling distance will be pretty short, won't it?
Yeah, that was one of where we, you know, because basically we got the dirt for free and we're paying for the hauling. So, yeah. So that's where we saved a lot of money.
It's probably about as close as you could get a source.
When we started looking for dirt and trying to figure out where we're going to pull this much dirt from, and the cost of that, you know, it was in exceedance of $1 million alone. We found a couple of places, but we didn't know if they would actually, it was going to have to go to place A, place B, and place C to be able to put all the dirt here for the project, but now we have all the dirt in one place. So it did save, and it's going to save a lot of time. We thought that we would be in where we are now in late 15, early 16, so we're going to be able to move the project up some and get in full start sometime in 16 on actually the reconstructing the face of the landfill sometime in 16. We'll have to wait for some environmental approvals by Diener concerning the cap and how we're redoing the cap. As we talked, we're going to put all this dirt on there, put a large plastic bag over it, more or less, and start from there to be able to shed the water off where it's not, where it's not going in the ground and no longer contaminating the groundwater. And hopefully that too will, in essence, stop some of the methane that is seeping off the property at this point.
And Diener is, of course, aware of our remediation efforts and our plan and so forth.
McGill's already had the preliminary conversations with our local Diener office over in Swannanoa, and they were very excited that we are a step ahead. And, as we were behind in 2009, and we have always taken the lead since then to getting things done ahead of schedule. With the methane, the gas to energy project that we did, that was a step in the right direction. And they see that we're working hard and very diligent in our efforts to get things done ahead of time, and they're not back there cracking a whip or throwing fines at us. So we're ahead of schedule, and they're very pleased with our efforts to be ahead of the curve.
Okay. Well, that's important that we continue in that vein, because if not, the agency has the power to levy substantial daily fines.
Yeah, up to $30,000 a day.
30,000 a day.
Yeah. I imagine that gets expensive after a while. Speaking of the gas to energy, we haven't talked about that in a little bit, but we're up to running down where we're putting about enough electricity to power 22 to 27 homes a month out there. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, it runs and does its thing, and apparently it's not running out of gas anytime soon.
Is the bus garage going to be powered with that as well?
It was too expensive to do the retrofit for the bus garage. It was we just could not do it. We looked at it every way possible because our initial plans was to do that with the bus garage. But the retrofit to convert, you're converting one building, to be able to take the electricity back from methane, and it was in exceedance of what we thought was the appropriate amount to pay.
Okay. Any other questions of David? Or any other observations on Francis Farm?
I just want to thank David for his role that he takes. He's the tax administrator, and he's up here talking about landfill, and I think that's pretty much, it's almost a volunteer of his time to do that in addition to what he does already, and I appreciate what he does.
Thank you. I think it had something to do with the Francis name on there. They said,
Probably so.
Thank you, though.
Okay, thank you. All right, then we would, at this point, entertain a motion to approve a contract with McGill Associates for engineering work on the Francis Farm landfill in the amount of $44,500.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. That's unanimous. Thank you. Okay, we'll turn for the final two items to our county manager for appointments to the nursing home community in the Southwestern Commission Area Agency. Ira?
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. We have a couple of appointments. And before we get those, if you would just allow me 1 minute to add that yesterday, and again, this has to do with the faith-based commissions, and it has to do with the work of several people, but ones that stand out to my mind would be Chief Hollingshead and Dr. Teeter and the sheriff. They had a prayer walk through town with about 500 people to stop drugs in our midst. So that was very successful. The two appointments that we have, the Nursing Home Community Advisory Committee, Ms. Pat Caldwell has applied. She retired after 24 years with social services. She did an outstanding job the last 8 years as a supervisor in long-term care, Medicaid, and working with the nursing homes, so she would be an excellent choice for that committee.
Okay. Any objection to that? If not, we'd entertain a motion that Tricia Caldwell be appointed as a member of the Nursing Home Community Advisory Committee.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Ira?
The last item we have is the Southwest Commission Area on Aging Council, appointing one member to that. We have Dale Jackson, who is 32 years of teaching and has been at Western Carolina in the mentoring program. and completed the senior leadership class and wants to get involved in the community. So,
Okay. All right, if there's no objection, then would entertain a motion that Dale Jackson be appointed to the Southwestern Commission Area Agency on Aging, the Regional Advisory Council.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you, Ira.
thank you.
Okay, that concludes the agenda for new business. At this point, would entertain a motion that we enter into closed session for review of closed session minutes under General Statute 143-318.11A1, Economic Development, General Statute 143-318.11A4, and Personnel, General Statute 143-318.11A6.
So moved.
Second.
Second? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, we are in closed session. We have returned from closed session. At this point, we need to take some actions to address the status of closed session minutes. If there's no objection, I'll proceed. We have three categories: minutes that have been previously approved and we are voting to release, minutes that need approval and thereafter authority to release, and minutes that require approval but are not yet cleared for release. So the first category of minutes that have been approved and are to be released: August 5th, 2013, regarding Haywood Regional Medical Center; August 19, 2013, Haywood Regional Medical Center; September 16, 2013, Haywood Regional Medical Center; and October 7, 2013, Haywood Regional Medical Center. So at this point, we entertain a motion that those minutes be released.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Okay, the second category, these minutes would need to be approved and authorized for release. March 17, 2014, closed session minutes. April 7, 2014, workers' compensation matter. And June 16, 2014, Haywood Regional Medical Center. I would entertain a motion that those minutes be approved and authorized for release.
So move.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. The third category, these minutes we're moving to approve but not yet release. February 17, 2014, Chamber of Commerce. February 17, 2014, Haywood Regional Medical Center, county funds after sale. February 17, 2014, compensation for realtor. March 3, 2014, Haywood Regional Medical Center, county funds after sale. March 17, 2014, Evergreen Natural Gas. March 17, 2014, workers' compensation matter. March 17, 2014, Haywood Regional Medical Center, county funds after sale. March 17, 2014, tax foreclosure sale. April 7, 2014, Haywood Regional Medical Center, county funds after sale. May 5, 2014, government channel advertisement. May 5, 2014, county manager discussion. May 19, 2014, Haywood Regional Medical Center. June 2, 2014, Haywood Regional Medical Center. August 18, 2014, Stephen King Dale Burris discussion. August 18, 2014, Consolidated Waste Services. Would entertain a motion that those minutes be approved but not yet released.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Any other action for the, or business for the board? Okay, if not, entertain a motion that we adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We are in adjournment.